Hello everybody and welcome back to Hearts of Iron, where we are continuing to bide our time here. And bide our time we are. There's a lot of time biding going on here, if I'm honest. We do need to build another military factory here. What am I doing? Control Shift to place it at the top of the queue. Beautiful. Okay, now we're incredibly close here to finally getting our top tier tanks ready to go. So that's a very big deal. We're going to have our advanced medium tank chassis done in 32 days. So that's very, very close here. And then after that, modern tank will be like 160 after that. So no big deal there. We'll proceed forward at the absolute top speed. The game does not go faster than this, but we are absolutely biding our time here. And it does look like the mutual assistance block might actually pull this one off. We'll see. Awkwardness is certainly ensuing. There's no doubt about it. And up over here, I'm a little surprised this is still in the state it's in. That's for sure. Our passive defense finishes up, and we're going to continue upgrading that. Absolutely. We want to continue upgrading our spy network as much as possible. We're going to finish up the M special unit here soon. So that'll be done in about another 35 days. Cool. We're working on our signal companies for now. We're going to run these instead of logistics companies for the time being until we notice a significant logistics issue, which likely will happen. That almost certainly will happen. So we're probably going to swap them out eventually, but at least at first, a signal company will probably be for the best. Okay, so as far as our fuel goes, our refineries are not huge. No doubt about that one. How's Poland doing here? They're at 76 out of 119 factories. I don't know, I feel like they're not going to get there anytime soon. I definitely feel like that. So we're at 79 total factories here. We're not using all of our naval dockyards for the moment. We will pivot to naval research after we're done with our tanks, so that'll be fun. 4 days here. Well, tanks and infantry and support, I suppose. We've kind of got our support companies, our infantry, and our tank slots for the moment. We will pivot very soon. So, 1 more day on advanced medium tank chassis. Beautiful. That is now complete. And we will grab the modern tank chassis. This is the final tank upgrade that we need for the moment. Cool. There's a passive defense upgrade finishing. We will continue to upgrade our passive defense. Wonderful. Eventually, we'll be able to build more factories, of course, but for the time being, that's not so much a thing. We're going to work on getting all these coastal forts done, but we're not too interested in that, in all honesty. That's a pretty minor thing. We can recruit another operative, and we can go for, ooh, boost ideology. Yes, please. And let's do that over here in China. So we're going to have this person build the intel network. And for the time being, that's it. Just build that network. Everyone else is going to work on defense for the moment. 49 days until the signal companies finish up, and that will get added into all of our existing locations, which will hurt our manpower. There's no doubt about that. That will definitely hurt our manpower. But we know our manpower is a problem. And it always will be. At least until we start expanding. How's Japan doing on their manpower? 2 to 3 million. Okay. Their manpower is slightly higher. No one is shocked by this. We are, after all, Australia. So, yeah, that's that's going to be a problem. I wouldn't mind eventually. We could go after, like, Siam, Burma at some point. That's definitely a potential option. I don't think we're going to do that just yet. We definitely need to continue ramping up. There's M Special Unit finishing up. There we go. And we are going to next grab the Z Special Unit. Fantastic. Signal Company 1 will be done before that is. And this should go away. Yeah, there we go. Fantastic. I would like... Actually, maybe we should attack Lake Siam. What do they have? They have 18 military factories. Okay. Their deployed army manpower is 200 to 400k. We have 200k. So we're on the low end of that. That's probably a bit of a concern for us. Probably. We can do a region-wide industrial integration, and we will certainly do so. We're going to put in another military factory down over this way. There we go. I clicked through something that felt important, but I'm not sure what it was. I mean, I know we're at low manpower. Yeah. Okay, so what does Burma have? Eight to 16 divisions. So that's substantially fewer divisions. And if we hover over this... I saw a tooltip up over here. Maybe not. We just don't have the intel. Okay. We could also potentially go after, like, British Malaya, but I'm pretty sure that's in the Allies. Yeah, we don't really want to go to war with the Allies right now, if we can help it. Although I'm wondering... Interesting. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. Okay, Soviets just declared on China. I was under the impression they were already at war, but I think their factions were, but they weren't. So, that's fine. That is absolutely fine. We're going to run a war propaganda against the Soviets. Cool. And I would also absolutely love to switch off of limited conscription to extensive. Unfortunately, we need to be at war and have the estimated strength ratio of 50% or more compared to our armies to do that. Okay. Substantial portions of Japan's key industrial centers cool. Have been leveled to the ground. So we can't boost that up just yet, obviously. We're not that interested in that, though. We're going to get Signal Company 1 in one day. That will finish up. There we go. And at this point, we can start upgrading our existing company types. Or we can grab the maintenance company, which we'll grab for our tank divisions. And we'll go into our infantry division here, and we will add in the signal company. Now, eventually, we will almost certainly want to swap one of these for the logistics company. But for right now, I'm not too concerned about that. We'll toss in a signal company into our armored divisions as well. And that does mean if we go into our logistics here, is it not there that we can see it? Where can we see our deficit of manpower? I thought it was in here. Maybe it was in here? Yeah, it's here. Okay. So for our reinforcements, we require about 9,000 troops or so. Actually like 11,000. We also need some tanks. That's to be expected. You are a little distracting, so I'm going to skip you. Fantastic. Okay. So we definitely do need to fill out our signal divisions, but that's fine. And we're next going to finish up Night Vision 1, but we're also going to finish up Z Special Unit very, very soon here. So that'll be done in 18 days. Beautiful. The question, of course, is what are we going to start working on after that? And also, what are we short on for resources here? What do we got? Steel. That's not shocking. We're going to get another batch of steel from the US. There we go. That is, of course, because we are working on producing so many light tanks at this point. And that's going to be swapped. The reason we're overproducing this so much right now is because the production cost of this will go up dramatically. There's no equipment in stock that we could use to convert into the Vickers too, but we might be able to convert some of that later on. We'll see about that. If we can retrofit the chassis, I'm not sure. The Belarusian government has capitulated. Okay. Oh. Poland declared a war. They're in our faction, but they haven't called us in. They're fighting the Soviets. Poland probably loses this. Although they're winning right now. In fact, Poland's winning pretty hard right now. Interesting. What are the Soviets at right now? They've been fighting for a long time. We have no intel whatsoever on them. Okay, fair enough. We don't know anything about the Soviets currently, and that's not shocking. We're to continue to work on our passive defense here, and we finished up our Z special unit. That's what it was that I clicked through earlier. Okay, that'll do it. Division training time. Dockyard output, air production, construction engineering, construction repair. I'm just looking at our continuous focuses here. I don't think there's anything there that we really want to go after. We're to grab naval bombers here. That will be important. We want to grab that eventually. So this will be fine. 80 days until we have the modern tank chassis. Beautiful. And Night Vision 1 will finish up in 16 days as well. So we're going to have like max level infantry technology very soon here. The Socialist Republic of Bulgaria has capitulated. Okay. So here's a question. Poland is no longer capable of assuming leadership of the faction while they're at war, it seems. That's interesting. Okay, so we want to... Where's our guy who was better at propagandizing? Apparently he no longer exists. Interesting. Well, we'll proceed. I'm not sure where he went, but sure. Our passive defense will be done in 16 days. The British Empire just declared war on Burma on their own. Okay. So we're going to have to fight the British Empire at some point. I think that's the ones that we're going to want to go against. In terms of, like, the big factions. Now, we could go after Japan. That's another decent option. They seem to be relatively stable at this point, and we might be able to steal some bits from them. But we're definitely not ready to go to war yet. There's no doubt about that one. We're going to finish up Night Vision 1 in 4 days. The longer this takes, the better off we are. So that's good. We will definitely go to war eventually. And we're going to have a severe manpower issue at the beginning. That's for sure. 1 day left on Night Vision. That will finish up now. There we go. And we could grab Night Vision 2. That is ahead of time right now. So instead, we could work on upgrading our support companies, which I think is a good idea. Let's grab Recon Company 2 for the time being. Get these all nice and upgraded. And then Maintenance Company 1 will, of course, finish out our tank regiments for the moment. So the modern tank chassis is going to be done in 60 days here. And then we're going to be able to finally make our fancy fancy tank. And then we'll start production of that. So that'll be in about 60 days here. We're going to finish up our passive defense here soon. Right now, in fact. And then we're going to look at anti-partisan, I guess. That's mission effects. Okay. That's fine. We'll just go down the list. Cool. Our war propaganda is progressing, and we are getting some solid war support here. And Poland is doing pretty well. Can we see what their manpower is at? Okay, they're doing pretty decently on that front. Absolutely. They have a good number of stockpiled trucks, too. Good for them. Okay. So we're just waiting for this last little while here. I say last little while. Last little while for tanks. We're going to be finishing up our tanks and our infantry fairly soon here. And once that finishes, then our ground forces will be done, and we're going to focus in our research at that point on naval forces. And then after that, we're going to focus in on air. It shouldn't take this long to get through naval and air, though, because ground forces were substantially more. We'll go with that. Looking at our navy setup here, yeah, we're probably going to want to start, well, probably with, like, destroyers. Leningrad has been occupied by Finnish forces. Well, that's awkward. Yeah, this is very awkward over here. I'm a little surprised that Poland is seeing as much success as they are. But I guess the Soviet Union has pulled a lot of different ways, so sure. That does make some level of sense. Naval bombers will be done here soon, and modern tank chassis in 37 days. Recon Company 2 will be done 1 day after that. So that's great. And the Kingdom of Romania has now capitulated to India. Awkward. Anti-partisan finishes up, and we will get our second anti-partisan upgrade. Turkey's looking pretty Ottoman, aren't they? They are. But we're just letting these guys burn through their manpower right now, and that's reasonably okay. I definitely want to attack Japan. I think that's our move, now that I've thought about it a little bit more. Attacking Japan is almost certainly the move. I'd love to see their manpower collapse more before we get there. We do have time, and that's great. Naval bombers will be done in 13 days. Modern tank chassis, twice as long at 26. And then the Recon Company 1 day after, and then the Maintenance Company quite a while after that, to be honest. That'll be quite a while. Okay, so that's great. We're at 98% war support right now. And we might want to continue to boost that, actually. We'll run a war propaganda against Catholic Mexico. There we go. We'll boost that up to 100%. Beautiful. I'd love to get another region-wide industrial integration, but that's not a thing right now. And what we really need to do is conquer some territory where we can get some manpower. Now, it's going to be non-core population, but compliance will change that, of course. If we look at, like, France over here, we can see that the compliance change here, local non-core manpower is up by 5.7%. So non-core manpower in this game is rough, but you get some from it. So that'll be fine. Naval bombers finishes up, and of course, what are we going to focus next? We have 3 options. Classify aliens, which is probably the best. Uranium mining, which is okay. And preemptive intervention, which we're not ready for. So we're going to classify aliens for the moment. Fantastic. And we're going to finish up the modern tank chassis in 11 days. 10 days. Man, these days feel long. And that manpower is gone. That's unsurprising. Anti-partisan has finished up, and now we're going to head into operations and grab blueprint stealing. Each of these are going to be reasonably quick upgrades. So that's great. Would love to see a region-wide industrial integration, but that hasn't popped in yet. It will eventually, but I'm not sure what actually triggers that. Modern tank chassis in 4 days. 3, 2, 1, and let's go. The modern tank chassis is done. So for now, we're done with our tanks. We can work on finishing out infantry. We can work on finishing out our support companies. We can also eventually work on trains, but I don't think that's that important right now. So I think for the moment, what we're going to do is we're going to grab the Signal Company 2. And we're just going to work on finishing up all of our support companies. Recon Company 2 is going to finish up now. There we go. And we are going to grab, I think, Field Hospital 2 here. There we go. Now, I don't have any garrison divisions, and that's something that we will eventually want. But for the moment, we are going to come down here, and we're going to swap our Vickers 2. More specifically, we're going to create a new modern tank chassis, and it's got a modern turret currently. That's fine. And we are going to put on possibly... Let's see, what is the point of these tanks? It's to penetrate through lines, particularly through infantry, but also to be able to counter tanks. So we should be looking at our soft and hard attack. The heavy cannon gives us 20, and actually that's pretty evenly mixed there between soft and hard attack. I think that's okay. For our special features, we could go for... Let's see, defense and breakthrough. Breakthrough is really what we want here, I think. How many enemy attacks a unit can attempt to avoid while on the offensive, effectively allowing it to stay on the offense longer? Okay. Probably. So I think the autoloader is just better than the stabilizer here. We're going to go for that. And then we're also going to go for potentially additional armor. Sloped armor. Maybe armor skirts as well. And then for this one, a basic radio. Like that. Now we'd upgrade that radio a little later on, probably. But that's okay. And then for our suspension. Now we need to look at our max speed and our reliability for the moment. We want to bump up our engine as much as we can. So that's at level 20. And our armor is at level 20. So our reliability is a little on the low side. We would love to see cast armor here. That is the best armor. It's expensive, but it's the best armor. Okay, we're on gasoline engines right now. We could go for the diesel engine to boost up the reliability. Our max speed is not amazing. But we could go for, like, the torsion bar here. Something along the lines of this. If we compare those stats to can we see the stats of the Vickers 2 without closing this? I hope this doesn't close it. Okay, yes. So we can see that our breakthrough is well over double. Our hardness is 15% higher. Let's see here. Our defense is 10 to 7.5. Our soft attack is 22. Our hard attack is 20. Our piercing is 90. Cool. So this is overall just a giant upgrade. Cool. So we'll save that. And we're going to start producing that tank type, the Centurion. No, not here. We are going to build that here. Now, we can't convert equipment in stock, sadly. But we have no template that uses that currently. Now, I'm pretty sure if we go into our divisions here, we currently have armored recon companies, which I believe use light tanks. Yes, we're going to want to change that at this point to motorized. Like so. And the same thing in the armored divisions. We're going to want to change this to motorized because we're not going to produce light tanks anymore. So we're going to use modern tanks for each of these. Cool. Like that. Fantastic. So there's that done. We are, of course, lacking in manpower. But we'll start getting those underway. We're only making 1.25 per week right now, but we're only at 10% production efficiency. So that will be absolutely fine. And with that, it is time to put a cut in here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we are going to wrap up, I hope, our research on our support groups, on our support companies. And after that, begin work proper on our Navy. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you, that's not the right button, a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including Kazaral, Sigma162, JJ Gamer, Ken2In, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Video Games Are Not Real, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Kadra, Raw Potato, Elmichi Nazi, Justin Everett, Emiliano Cambron, Martin Lawrence, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video. And as always, I will see you all next time.